So starting with the first example, we distribute it across. Okay, this negative 2 is times the y, negative 2 times the negative 3. So a positive times a negative, I keep the negative. A negative times a negative, I keep the positive. Okay, I've got that negative 2y plus 6. This 22 is still going to come straight down. Now it looks just like what we did 2 days ago. Okay, I want to get the y on the side all by itself. So if this has a plus 6, I'm going to subtract 6 to both sides. 22 minus 6, that gives me 16 equals a negative 2y. I want to get the y all by itself, so I divide both sides by negative 2. My final answer is y equals negative 8. Just follow along those steps. All right, you guys are going to start off. You will talk me through number 2. I'm going to have you guys help me. So number 2 says, let me get a little bit of room on there. Number 2 says 3.2, and then in parentheses, x plus 3.7, close parentheses, equals 4.8. Somebody talk me through what's the very first thing we're going to do?
That line.
Okay, we're going to make that line. I like it. Noah, what was your next thought? Distribute. So what 2 things am I going to distribute this 3.2?
X and 3.7.
Awesome. Distribute it to both. 3.2 times x is 3.2x. And then it's a positive times a positive, so it'll be plus. What is 3.2 times 3.7?
11.84.
11.84. Okay, and then I get to bring down that 4.8. All right, somebody new that hasn't said anything yet. Daniel, what do you think?
Subtract 11.84 from both sides.
Awesome. I'm trying to get that x on the side by itself, so I'm going to subtract that 11.84 on both sides. On this side, I'm left with 3.2 x. On this side, I'm left with a, what'd you get?
Negative 7.04.
Negative 7.04. Do you guys agree? Again, my calculator needs more sunlight. Otherwise, I'm going to go to my desk. So I just need to make sure you guys all agree that that's the right number. Yep, awesome. Okay, the last part, I want to get x all by itself. Somebody brand new that hasn't said anything. Austin? Divide both sides by 3.2. Perfect. My final answer is x equals 2 point what? 2.2. By show of thumbs. Thumbs up, thumbs down. How you feeling? Do you feel like you could show off right now? I saw a lot of thumbs. Show me what you got. I got this 5x, or 5 times, in parentheses, x plus 6 equals 40. I want you guys to work this one. Right? Perfect. right, I like what I see, guys. Alex, what'd you get for a final answer? 2, you got it. All right, I'm gonna do the steps real quick, but you're right, it was 2. So I'm gonna distribute this to both sides. I get 5x plus 30 equals 40. I forgot to draw my line. Minus 30 to both sides. 30 to both sides. There it goes. I get 5x equals 10. Divide both sides by 5. Final answer is x equals 2. You guys have it. All right, this next one. I've been talking about multiplying by the reciprocal every single time. But some of you guys do not have those super fancy smart calculators. So I'm going to do it the long way. Okay, I'm going to do it showing you that you don't have to have a super fancy calculator that has to have the fraction button. Okay? Because to be honest, every single thing we do in this math class realistically can be done with a calculator like this. Sure, the other ones might make things go a little bit quicker, but every single thing can get done with a simple calculator like that. All right, so this very first part, I'm going to go through. I'm going to switch up colors of pens just because I'm tired of seeing the same blue. Let's do orange today. All right, I'm going to start off and I'm going to distribute this one. That to both of those. 2/3 times k is still going to be 2/3 k. Okay. For the next part, 2/3 times 5. And I'm going to write it over here. 2/3 times 5, or times a -5, is the same as saying times -5 over 1. You guys remember seeing those? Whenever we multiply, we're only multiplying across the top and then across the bottom. So when I have this -5, it's only going to be across the top. So 2/3 times -5 is going to give me -10 over 3. And I am not going to change that bottom number. Okay, this bottom number is going to stay the same. That's kind of step number 1 where a lot of people will make the mistakes when they try using a different calculator, because they'll try multiplying both the top and the bottom by the same number. Okay, so I've got 2/3 k minus 10 divided by 3. For this one, it's still going to equal -4. Oh, I forgot to draw my line. Okay. I'm going to change this one into a number that's over 3. So that way I can add and subtract real easy. Again, for all you people that don't have the fancy calculators, these are the steps that you would do so that way you don't have to rely on that fraction button. So nothing on the left-hand side is going to change right now. I've got 2/3 k minus 10/3. If I wanted to change 4 into a fraction that has 3 on the bottom, do you guys remember what we would do? We're going all the way back to like chapter 2 right now. Now, you're kind of a step ahead of me if we're doing by the reciprocal. If I want this number to have 3 as the bottom,
1 over it.
thought? Yeah? Okay. So this -4 is the same as saying -4 over 1. To get the bottom number to be a 3, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by the exact same number. You guys remember seeing that? I'm seeing a lot of blank faces. I'm so sad. Okay. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by the exact same number. I get -12 over 3. -12 over 3 is the exact same thing as -4 over 1. Okay? As long as I multiply the top and the bottom by the exact same number, we can change whole numbers into those fractions. Now that they all have a 3 on the bottom, this will make the rest of this go a lot easier. Okay? I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. So on the left-hand side, it says minus 10.3 I'm going to say 10 plus 10.3 or 10 over 3. And whatever I do to the left-hand side, I'm going to do to the other side. So I'm going to say plus 10 over 3. You should know, hopefully by this point, that when we have the opposite signs, these ones are going to cancel out. For this one, I put on the side just so I can show you how we can add these real easy. If they have the same bottom number, can we add and subtract them like normal?
Yes.
If it's the same bottom number, we most certainly can. So it will keep the same bottom number for our final answer. All we have to worry about is just the top number. So what is negative 12 plus 10? Negative 2. I got negative 2 is my top number. My bottom number is not going to change from a 3. And then this part, I'm going to bring straight down. I get 2 over 3 k equals negative 2 over 3. Okay, here's where you're thinking about doing that reciprocal, right? I can tell inside your heart. Because I said I'm going to go the long way about this one, I'm going to go one step at a time. On the left-hand side, it's being divided by k, or divided by 3. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Let me get a different color pen. So this one is 3 is getting canceled out. I've got 3 over here divided by 3. Those ones cancel out. Now I'm left with 2k equals negative 2. As soon as I have the exact same bottom number, or the bottom numbers are canceled out, it turned into a regular problem that we've done before. So I'm going to keep on bringing this line down, divide both sides by 2. My final answer, k equals negative 1. Again, I showed you all the long steps, so there can no longer be an excuse that says, well, I don't have the right calculator. I don't have this, I don't have that. It's not too much work. You can figure out some of these steps as we go through them, but it's all about practicing. Do you like a sport? What's your favorite sport?
I don't know. Manny?
What?
Manny?
Manny? Sport?
I guess basketball.
Basketball. Okay. The first time you shot, did you make it in the hoop? The very first time you were like, yay big.
No.
No. So after the first shot, you're like, oh, it's too much work, I'm just gonna give up. Or did you just keep on practicing? Math is the same way. Yes, it seems like a lot of work now, but you're gonna be able to get so much better at it, so much quicker at it. Okay? Same thing with basketball, same thing with wrestling, same thing with track, same thing with show choir. Okay? The very first time you get up there for any of these sports, it's going to be overwhelming. But the more you practice, the better you will get at it. I promise you. Okay. On to a couple story problems, and then we'll be out of time for today. It says, Natasha, she buys 5 bottles of orange juice. She has coupons for 65 cents off the regular price of each bottle of juice. After using the coupons, the total cost is $6.20. Let's try to figure out how we can set this up. So I'm going to have an equal sign already. What is going to be on, let's say, the right side of that equal sign?
6.20.
$6.20. Okay? It said all this stuff over here. The total cost of juice is going to be that. So $6.20. All right. The stuff on the left-hand side. She buys 5 bottles of juice with a coupon for 65 cents off each bottle. How do you think we could set that one up? Daniel?
Would be like 5 on the outside of the parenthesis,
Perfect.
and then like a variable.
Yeah. So each bottle is going to cost a variable, and then it says 65 cents off, so we're going to take off 0.65. I'll make that 65 cents a little bit bigger. Because every single time it's going to be 65 cents cheaper than what the original bottle was. Okay, now it looks just like we did before. Now I can go through and distribute it. Somebody talk me through all the steps. Or just one step. Austin?
Draw the little one.
Got it. Draw the line. Step 2. Noah?
Distribute.
Distribute. I love it. I got 5 times x is 5x minus 5 times 0.65. 5 times 0.65. Oops, that's the wrong button. Times 0.65. That's way better. Minus 3.25. That equals $6.20. Next step. Daniel?
Plus 3.25 to each side.
Awesome. Add that 325 to both sides. So I get 5x equals 9.45. Very last step. Noah?
Divide by 5 on each side.
Awesome. I get x equals 1.89. Each bottle of juice for the regular price was $1.89 each. How you feeling? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs in the middle. I like it. All right, tomorrow will be an entire workday. There's one more problem on here. I will write it for the notes, but I won't have enough time to go through the entire thing in class. So I'll put it on the notes so that way I can put it onto Google Classroom. But then tomorrow we'll have an entire workday. Is anyone not going to be here tomorrow? Is anybody going to the game and staying over? Okay, then I'll have it on the board for tomorrow. Yes, sir.
This assignment is making.
You want to put it in the side of the tray? That'd be great.
I could leave this one in here. I got an extra one. So.
Don't. It will disappear.
Okay.
I had another one. It showed back up. And at this point, if they,
I'll just leave it in my office.
that sounds like a way better idea. Because I had one of the good ones. Somebody dropped it off after semester tests, and it made it in my classroom for 2 days.